Distance learning for everyone. Here we are with week number 2. We've got this. And of course, you APE students especially have it because we've been doing the online thing all year long to some degree. Although it's no replacement, I'm really realizing for face-to-face interaction, which I totally miss. I miss seeing you guys. And the buzz of it all. Anyway, here we go with week at a glance. Monday, today, we just did the energy panel discussion. I hope that you found that to be interesting. I saw just about everybody was there, so thank you for making that work. And of course, big thanks to Edgar and Ross. I hope that affected you and gave you some things to think about. I'll tell you, just for me personally, on my path to learn all about all these things, it really has had an effect on my worldview. I hope the same is true for you. We've got to keep learning. And so more on that in a minute, but the other thing that we're going to have happen during class time, during your actual normal period time on Friday, is our 2 FRQs. Of course, we were supposed to do our midterm exam last week, and that didn't happen. We're not going to do the multiple choice online anyway yet, but we are going to do something. So you've got 2 FRQs on Friday. What are they going to be on? You want to think about energy, so think about all the renewable energy that we studied. We did that whole energy fair with solar and wind and all that. You want to think about the dam we saw at Jasper Ridge, or hydroelectricity. And then of course you want to think about nuclear, which we've been focused on these last few days, or this last week or so again. And so energy, we went to the Recology recycling plant, and so think about solid waste management as a possible one too, as well as cleaning up wastewater. We did a lot with toxicology and LE50 and looking at different toxins and pollution, although we already did an FRQ on ozone depletion, so that won't be on there. So you want to be looking at that, and studying for this is going to help you study for the AP exam too. And so it's okay if you study heavily on one thing and it doesn't show up in an FRQ. Here's the way the FRQ is going to work. Ms. Penglace and I have talked, and we've come up with a handful of FRQs, so each class can get a different one, and they're hybrid FRQs. And even though you won't be able to find scoring formats on them easily, it is an on your honor kind of thing. And so let's keep our integrity as we do these things. And to make it fair, here's how it's going to work. So you've already done an FRQ on ozone depletion this semester. I haven't put it in the grade book because it was just one thing and I didn't want it to swing people's grades. And then we're going to do 2 more, which will be a total of 3. If you want, once those are all scored, if you want to replace the lowest scoring one with another FRQ, you can do that after spring break. We can just bring in another one. You can retake it. And so we're trying to make it as fair as possible, knowing that these times are begging for that. Let's try and keep it fair. And so other things this week. By Sunday, please comment on 8 EduBlog posts. And so thanks to everybody for making that work. And so now you just, this is our last piece with it. We're going to go in and you're going to find different articles and do like what we normally do. If you need your code, if you need the login stuff, don't hesitate. I can get it quickly for you. It's no big deal. I want to make sure we have readers for all these articles. And of course, Corona is all that's in the news right now, but there's a lot of, I've just read a whole bunch of these and they're all really good. And of course, my goal is to make sure every one of them gets a reader. And so I'm at drinking water right now. So if I was going to come in, here I'm looking at this, and I see this one doesn't have any comments, it's fair game. So if I want to learn about sea snakes that can't drink seawater, that's your one. But once people start getting in there, they're going to start showing comments. Please don't read one that's got a comment already. Find one that doesn't have a comment. And then I want to remind you, for some of them, you want to keep scrolling down and see here, it says March 19th. This is recent. This is from Katie. But I want you to click on older posts, because if we just do that first one, we won't see the articles from Nikon. And Nikon was actually in there first. And so the way a blog works is the earliest posts go first. Now I'm in November. That was from last semester. We're not going to do that. But please make sure you hit older posts so everybody gets read. So that that happened, and then here's the other thing that's a significant assignment. So really, it's the FRQs, EduBlogs, and then I want you to write a one-page synthesis paper that answers the question. This question: does nuclear power have more potential to be disruptive technology than alternatives like solar and wind? And so that's based on everything you've learned about, especially these last few days. I'm going to click on that assignment here. If you go into Canvas, it looks something like this, and it's got more detail on it. But with a synthesis paper, what you want to do is synthesize different sources. And so this is a one-page paper. It's going to be tight, right? I'll let you read over the requirements, but in this assignment, you'll see links. You'll see links to the article that you read by Ross Koningstein. That could be a source. You need 3 sources at least. That could be a source. You've got Ross Koningstein's his slides that he just showed. You've got Edgar De Giovanni's slides. You've got the energy charts that we went over in class the other day, and they're linked here. You've got anything that they said during their slideshows, and then anything else that you want to bring in. And so remember, a disruptive technology is something like going from the horse and buggy to the car. Nobody needed to convince people to do that. They just did it. Or going from all of us getting cell phones. Disruptive technology means it's something that once you do it, there's no going back. We're not getting rid of our cell phones. We're not getting rid of our cars, although we may need to get rid of how we run our cars. Anyway, please, if you have any questions on that, don't hesitate. But this is an important paper. And again, it's just one page. Keep it tight. And you've got everything already that you need to do that paper. And then that will close us out for spring break, and then we can all go home. Or I guess we're already home, but we can all relax. You guys, it's been quite a ride already these last couple weeks. Please hang in there and keep it real. If you have any questions about any of this, don't hesitate to reach out. And I'm going to send you an RSVP for the FRQs. So hang in there, everybody. And it was good to see you live in the Zoom today. All right, thank you.